Alright, welcome to nutrition and food substances. In this chapter, we'll tackle questions on nutrition and also questions on food test. Question 1. The process represented by the above equation is, look at the equation here, 6CO2 plus 6H2O is giving you C6H12, it's not clear, but it's H12O6 plus 6O2. This process here represents photosynthesis. Now, I want you to jot down. Photosynthesis is a process whereby low energy compounds such as CO2 and H2O are converted to high energy compounds such as glucose. Key point 1. Photosynthesis only occurs in green plants because they contain the green pigment chlorophyll in their chloroplast. Number 2. The chemical energy stored in glucose is derived from sunlight. They ask that one a lot. Where the chemical energy stored in glucose, where is it derived from? Next point you should jot down. Oxygen is given off as a byproduct during photosynthesis. That's the next one. Point 4. The oxygen given out as a byproduct during photosynthesis is gotten from water and not carbon dioxide. Let's go to our next question. So number 1, photosynthesis is the answer. 2, the oxygen given off during the process is derived from, you see, just like what I stated now at point 4, is derived from water, option E. Number 2 is option E, not carbon dioxide. A lot of students will pick carbon dioxide. No, the oxygen given off during photosynthesis is derived from water, which is the photolysis of water. Option number 3, which of these elements is required by a plant in small quantities only? Write down. Elements required by plants in small quantities are called micronutrients. M-I-C-R-O nutrients. Example, molybdenum. Molybdenum is M-O-L-Y-B-D-E-N-U-M. Number 2, boron. Number 3, copper. Number 4, manganese. Manganese is spelled M-A-N-G-A-N-E-S-E. And the last one is zinc. Next, right. Nutrients or elements required by plants in large quantities are called macronutrients. Macro is spelled M-A-C-R-O. Number 1, nitrogen. Number 2, sulfur. 3, phosphorus. 4, magnesium. 5, potassium. 6, calcium. And 7, iron. These are required in large quantities by plants. So if we go back to our, let's continue. Carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen are also required in large quantities. Go to the next line and write. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen found in plants are obtained from photosynthesis, while the other elements are obtained from the soil. So let's go back to our question. Which of these elements is required by a plant in only small quantity? The correct answer is option A, boron. If you go through the note I just gave you. Number 4, which of these is a direct photosynthetic product? Right. Glucose is a direct photosynthetic product. While starch is an indirect photosynthetic product. We move to our next question, question 5. An organism which lives, so number 4 is option A. An organism which lives on the remains of a dead plant is known as a saprophyte. So right, saprophyte are organisms living on the remains of dead plants and animals. Examples, bacteria and fungi. They cause decay, putrefaction, and decomposition. Putrefaction is spelled Putrefaction. TION, putrefaction and decomposition. So they decompose an item. Example, you make food and you leave the food for so long there, maybe 1, 2, 3 days, you know, warm the food. After some time, go see as if wetin they call roti. Now actually bacteria and fungi, and then don't come, they eat that food. You get, so they be saprophytes. The same thing too, if an animal die, lizard die, rat die, after some time, if you see them, seem as if some worms, something will come up to be eating them up. That's also called saprophytes. So number 5 is option B. They feed on dead items. Number 6, which of these substances listed below is a trace element? If they say something is a trace element, right? Trace elements are elements needed by plants in small quantities. Remember, we made mention of them just now. Option C, copper is a trace element. We say copper, we say molybdenum, we say boron, and we also mention others. Question 7. A sugar solution was boiled with Fehling solution, A and B, and the color remained blue. The sugar tested was, everybody right, food test. Next, that's food test as a subheading. Then go down and write, Fehling solution gives a color change from blue to orange, showing a positive test. I'll tell you what you use Fehling solution to test, but I hope you've written that down. Number 2, right? Next, right. Sucrose would only produce a positive test with Fehling solution after warming it with dilute hydrochloric acid. Full stop. So, Siam, if you want test for sucrose, you go use Fehling solution. But if you use Fehling solution, the color no go change from, remember I gave you a point just now, the color no go change from blue to orange. It means say na sucrose. So if you put sucrose to Fehling, if you put Fehling solution to sucrose, the color no go change. Meaning say that thing na sucrose. But if you want to make the color change, you go first warm sucrose with dilute hydrochloric acid. And be that point. Next point, right for me. Right. The reason why sucrose is first warmed with hydrochloric acid to give a positive test with Fehling solution is because the acid hydrolyzes is spelled HYDROLYSES. The acid hydrolyzes sucrose to simple sugar, open bracket, glucose and fructose, comma, which then gives a positive test with Fehling's solution. Next point, right? When performing Fehling solution, when performing Fehling's test, or when performing food test with Fehling solution, write it like that. Neutralization, open bracket, caustic soda is necessary before adding Fehling solution. Next, right? Benedict solution can be used in place of Fehling solution and also requires boiling. So from question, that's full stop. Let's go back to the question. A sugar solution was boiled with Fehling solution A and B, and the color remained blue. The sugar solution tested is sucrose. Remember, it's sucrose. Now, if they had asked you this question, they can ask you this question as hydrochloric acid was added to sucrose, and then sucrose was boiled with Fehling solution, and the color will change from what? The color will change from blue to orange. That will show you that that's a positive test for sucrose when you use Fehling solution. So in this case, number 7 is option D. I will use pidgin. Fehling solution, they use and they test whether sucrose is something. Sucrose is a type of sugar. Now, if you put the Fehling solution like that, the color no go change. It means say sucrose dey. Now, if you want to make the color change, which is how Fehling solution normally show you say sugar dey something, you go first need to add hydrochloric acid to sucrose. You dey get am? Now, wait, I just try to explain for you, be that for the notes. Number 8, alkaline pyrogalon was used in an experiment. That experiment must have been conducted with. Now, first things first, you need to write alkaline pyrogalon is used to absorb oxygen. I've been able to explain this in our chemistry series under air. Right, alkaline pyrogallium is used to absorb oxygen gas, which is a byproduct of photosynthesis. Full stop. Let's come back to our question. Alkaline pyrogallium was used in an experiment. That experiment must have been connected with photosynthesis. Remember, you can get oxygen as a byproduct of photosynthesis. Next question, number 9. The element nitrogen is utilized in formation of ATP, formation of glucose. Option C, formation of amino acid. Formation of amino acid. Right. Nitrogen, most component of protein contains nitrogen. Next, also sulfur. Next point, right. Formation of magnesium is responsible mainly for the formation of chlorophyll. Next, iron is also responsible for the formation of chlorophyll. Next, potassium is responsible for cell formation and regulation of certain cellular activities. And lastly, calcium is responsible for cell wall formation, neutralization of organic acid, and activation of certain enzymes. Enzymes is spelled ENZYMES. One more point, phosphorus also helps to synthesize nuclear protein and coenzymes that are involved in nuclear division in the cell. They also act as buffer in cell sap. Phosphorus also acts as buffer in cell sap. Full stop. Number 9 is option C, formation of amino acid. 10. Magnesium is utilized in the formation of, you see, 9 and 10, similar thing. Magnesium is utilized in the formation of, you see, option D, chlorophyll. I just made mention of that now, magnesium and iron. Number 11. In testing for glucose, the necessary reagent and condition under which the reagent acts are, in testing for glucose. To test for glucose, sugar, you use Fehling's solution, right? To test for glucose or common sugars, you use Fehling's solution. Full stop. Now, let's be specific with this one. In testing for glucose, the necessary reagent and the condition under which the reagent acts are option E. Fehling's reagent in neutral or alkaline medium and boil. You see, we say you boil it with what? Hydrochloric acid. So write down, to test for glucose, you use Fehling's solution in a neutral or alkaline medium, and you also warm the sugar. Warm or boil. Option 11 is option E. It's simple, you see. 12. A green plant growing in a compost pit is feeding. A green plant growing in a compost pit is feeding. How? I want you to jot down some points for me. Right. Green plant produces their own food. Green plant can produce their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Hence, they feed autotrophically. Autotrophically is spelled AUTOTROPHICALLY. Autotrophically or holophytically. Holophytically is HOLOPHYTICALLY. Holophytically. Next line, right. Autotrophism means ability to make your own food by the means of photosynthesis. Autotrophism is spelled AUTOTROPHISM. Autotrophism means ability to make your own food by the process of photosynthesis. Next. Autotrophic nutrition is same thing as holophytic nutrition. Autotrophic is AUTOTROPHIC and holophytic is HOLOPHYTIC. So number 12 is a green plant growing in a compost pit is feeding holophytically, which is autotrophically, option D. Forget they say it's growing in the compost pit. A lot of students will go and pick saprophytically. No, green plants do not feed on dead and decaying substances. It's only bacteria and fungi. 12. So 12 is D. 13. The mushroom is an organism which feeds saprophytically. Mushroom is a fungus. And remember, fungi and bacteria, they feed saprophytically. They feed on dead and decaying substances. 15. If Benedict's solution gives a positive test in a food test, the food contains, do not forget I said previously that Benedict's solution and Fehling's solution could be used to test for sugar. So 14 is option A. Right. Benedict solution is used to test for sugar, option A. 15. The deficiency of vitamin D leads to. The deficiency of vitamin D leads to. Let's write. Deficiency of vitamin A leads to night blindness or total blindness. Next, deficiency of vitamin B1 leads to beriberi. Deficiency of vitamin B2 leads to skin lesion. Skin lesion is skin, skin, then lesion is lesion, especially around the mouth. Especially around the mouth. Next, deficiency of vitamin B leads to pellagra, and mental illness if prolonged. Deficiency of vitamin B5 leads to digestive disorder, nervous and digestive disorder. Nervous is nervous. Next, deficiency of B6, vitamin B6 leads to anemia and diarrhea. Diarrhea is spelled diarrhea. Diarrhea. Deficiency of vitamin B12 leads to pernicious anemia. B12 leads to pernicious anemia. Next, deficiency of folic acid leads to anemia, especially in pregnant women. Next, deficiency of vitamin C leads to scurvy. Scurvy is scurvy. Next, deficiency of vitamin K leads to prolonged bleeding or hemorrhage. And lastly, deficiency of vitamin E leads to sterility or repeated abortion, but not in humans. So let's go back to question 15. The deficiency of vitamin D leads to vitamin D. Do not forget, vitamin D leads to rickets, right? Deficiency of vitamin D leads to rickets, which is option C. D leads to rickets, option C. 16. Which of these substances is likely to be deficient in a diet of a person having goiter? The correct answer is iodine, which is option C. Iodine, option C. Iodine, option C. Right. Seafoods are rich in iodine. Seafoods are rich in iodine. 17. Some of the major elements required by plants are potassium, nitrogen, phosphorus, sodium, calcium. Option A. Option A. We touched this previously. Option A. These are major elements required by plants. Also, jot down this. Major elements required by animals: sodium, potassium, chlorine, calcium, iron, copper, phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, iodine, fluorine, cobalt. All these are major elements also that are required by a plant. 18. So number 17 is A. 18. Kwashiorkor is caused by severe deficiency in protein, option D. You would know that one. Also right, marasmus, marasmus, is also caused by severe deficiency in protein. Number 19. Which of the following pairs are the product of sucrose? Right? Hydrolysis of disaccharide. Then go down and write. Sucrose equals glucose plus fructose. Next, lactose equals glucose plus galactose. And lastly, maltose equals glucose plus glucose. Those are actually the hydrolysis of disaccharide. So if they say you hydrolyze, meaning say it's like you put beans now for water period, you want to make more money. Like, or how will I put it now? Or you just like people put cassava in water to ferment it, or I'm looking for a good point too. It's like you add water to it, not necessarily, but like you try to dilute it to break it down to make it soft. Then when you break it into two, sucrose will break to give you GF, which is glucose and fructose. Number 19 is C. Okay, glucose and fructose. Right, hydrolysis of disaccharide is achieved in the lab by adding dilute acid and certain enzymes. So if you carry sucrose, you add some certain enzymes into it, it will break. You can't give you two different sugar, which are glucose and fructose. That's number 19. Number 20. We'll stop at 20 here. So 20. If an organic compound has its hydrogen oxygen ratio as 2:1, it is most likely to be a carbohydrate. Carbohydrate, they have their oxygen, carbon, and hydrogen ratio to be 1:2:1. So carbohydrate. 21. Which of the following elements are necessary for the formation of chlorophyll in plants? Don't forget to say magnesium and iron. 21 is option A. 22. Which of the following statement is not true of insectivorous plants? Right. Insectivorous plants are also called carnivorous plants. Examples of them: 1. Venus flytrap. Which are down? 2. Sundew. 3. Pitcher plant. Yeah, pitcher plant. Then the last common one is bladderwort. Bladderwort is spelled BLADDERWORT. Bladderwort. So number 22 is option. Let's see. Examples of them: bladderwort. So they made mistake here, not butterwort. It's supposed to be bladderwort. Bladderwort, sundew, and pitcher plant. Option E. 22 is option E. 23. Let's try 23. A mixture of okay, we'll come back to this from the next video. Thanks for watching. If you've gotten to this place, well done. Hope I gave a lot of points in this video. I expect you to jot down everything orderly, snap, and send to us on the WhatsApp group for assessment. If you're not part of the WhatsApp group yet, please be notified that we run a class on WhatsApp. I'll drop the link to the WhatsApp group in the description box. You click on it, you could reach out to us if you would like to enroll. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. You could share this video with your friends and also drop a like. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.